Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Final Bag Podcast. Where today, you notice there's 5 of us instead of 3 of us. We've got me, John Lambert, the normal host, and we've also got 2 fan favourites of Scottish Legends Championship. Ben Mason, our 4-time champion of Scottish Legends, and Michael Weddell, our 2... Michael is running his eyes at that. And Michael Weddell, who's got 2 championships in Scottish Motorsport Legends Newcomers Championship in 2018, I want to say. Is that right? Yep, that is right. No, knowledge is good. So, welcome on, guys. How you doing today?
Fine, thanks. Yourself?
Not bad. What about you, Michael?
Very good. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so, obviously, touring car round next. We'll talk to Michael about it before you came on, Ben. But, obviously, it's a big round, a lot of people there. How are we feeling going into it? What's hopes for the round?
I hoped, obviously, to get some wins. I was obviously got P2s at Open Park in the televised part of it. Well, the first 2 races. But yeah, just keeping it on the track, trying to get as many points as we possibly can, and more than Michael. He's been a jammy so-and-so this year so far. I think me and Michael have had the worst luck out of everyone.
Just when you were talking about Open there, can I just ask, what actually happened when you were coming down? Did you hit a damp bit of water? And the back end
I don't know, honestly. Well, we'd had a bit of rain, and around the back was still quite slippy, and I think I was just slightly offline, and I must have just hit a bit of kind of rubber or something like that, and it just sent the car one way and then just went the other way, and I thought, here we go. But it was a squeaky bum moment for sure.
Yeah, because the commentators on the telly, they were just going, is this going to be a spin and win? Is this going to be a spin and win? And they were getting so excited about it. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
So
good,
close,
good
so
recover,
close.
By the way. Very good recovery.
That was such a good race,
had
to be fair. I mean, I'm telling it's like, there's so much going on that. I mean, on the final lap, it cuts like I don't know what corner it was, the right hand on the final sector before you get to like the pit straight with you with the moment bit. And it just cuts like there's 3 cars off, it just cuts straight back to the action. It's like, well, what the hell's going on? It's so confusing. There's everything going on. But it was a great race. Hopefully get some more of that in touring car package.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Speaking of, on the current timetable that Bark have put out, you currently have 4 races. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
We should have 6.
Yeah, we should have 3 Saturday, 3 Sunday.
That was the last timetable I seen.
Well, to be fair, I looked at this last night when I was very sleep deprived. So you guys are probably right. How do you feel about 6 races over the weekend, considering you normally only do 3?
No, we normally do 6.
No, we do 6. 3 per day, Amber.
See, I'm more focused on making sure I can run out to you when you inevitably have your incident, so I don't really...
Right. See how we're talking about timetables and stuff. A question that I've always wanted to ask legends, right? Legend drivers. You get...
Thanks for the clarification there, John.
Definitely. When you have, on a Saturday morning, the first thing out is the Legends familiarisation. Is that written into some sort of contract? Because I don't think you guys really need to familiarise yourself with Knockkill. Or is there something else behind it?
There is a rule that before the racing starts is each driver needs to do 3 laps. Now, obviously, we don't do qualifying, so we can't qualify, so they just chuck in familiarisation, and it's counted as basically a practice session, and you've got to do a minimum of 3 laps to be classed to be able to race.
Right. So what if you don't do that? You just can't race.
You have to get special dispensation from the stewards to be allowed to race if you don't manage your 3 laps.
So you start from the back as well, I think.
Go stewards, like you can't race.
And you start from the back for all 3 races.
That's harsh.
I mean, it's harsh, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it kind of depends. If it's a mechanical fault that wasn't your fault, like, I don't know, for example, your brakes just get jammed on, that's nothing that you could do, then it's a bit harsh. But if it's your own fault, then, yeah, makes it, in my eyes, it's a fair penalty.
And seeing as we're talking about Knockkill, I have already spoke to Michael about this, so I'm going to ask yourself, Ben, what is your favourite, clockwise or anti-clockwise?
I would think anti-clockwise.
That's it. Yeah.
It just seems to flow better.
Right.
Like from Clark's all the way down through the chicane, Leslie's, McIntyre's, and up and over Duffy's. It just, I don't know, it just seems to just kind of just flow nicely.
And Michael was saying that you're hitting the limiter as you're coming down towards the hairpin.
Yeah, you're almost pulling 6th, but it just became 6th and then back to 5th.
Right.
So yeah, they are screaming going down there.
Because I've never driven the track in anger yet, by the way, but that's a story for next year. I've only driven it going round to post. And I've driven it both ways going round to post, and it feels completely different. So instead of coming up round the chicane, you're kind of going down, and there's the off camber at the bottom and all that kind of stuff.
It does, like, especially going Clark's, it does, you don't think of it, it's going to be throwing you, but you have to hit that apex spot on, or it just washes you out into the gravel trap on the exit, on the outside. It's
right.
And it's like it just flows so nice through the chicane all the way up Duffus. There's just something, I don't know if it's the same as Ben, because we've just done normal direction for so much. The chances that we do get to run anti-clockwise, that it just feels sweet.
Yeah. They don't do it enough.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Agreed.
We should do it like Saturday, Sunday, anti-clockwise Saturday, clockwise Sunday.
They used to run meetings like that. I know they definitely did last year.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happened with
year.
this year, but
It was
I always
a
thought
request that we made, basically saying, could we just do a full day anti-clockwise rather than just having 6 races across a year? We would have 12, basically, which gives a bit more dynamic.
See, I've always thought that they should do a touring car meet 1 year anti-clockwise, just see what happens. Because I think that would be just great fun.
Yeah.
Then,
I don't know why they don't.
I don't think, apart from the Scots, probably haven't driven it anti-clockwise, you know what I mean? I'm hoping Gordon has, but, everybody
I should hope
else
so.
hasn't.
Having raced it in a saloon car, it's not, when it comes to saloon cars, it's not the best track to overtake on, because you've only really got the hairpin. But in a Legends car, we overtake everywhere anyway. It doesn't really matter, so we get away with it. But when it comes to a saloon car, you can just basically white line it down to the hairpin, and you've held the position, because there's nowhere to really overtake apart from that. So they might really struggle in a touring car. There'll probably be less overtaking at Knockhill than what there usually is for touring cars, which is quite a feat sometimes. But
when you're talking about overtaking in Legends, are the engines more or less all the same, as in horsepower and stuff? Is there any regulations with that, or is it whoever can sit theirs up the better and try and eke a bit more horsepower out of it? Or
I'm looking at you, Ben, Mr. Reigning Champion, so you can spill all your secrets.
Good point.
Well, I think this year, majority of the grid are now running the 3-cylinder water cooled, and whether it's FZ or MT, I think there's a few kind of the 4 cylinders left air cooled. Historically, Legends engines are identical. Sealed, MSA sealed at the beginning of the season, and then they get resealed if they get rebuilt over the year, or you get a new engine, you get resealed. And then it's up to the Clarks and the scrutineers whether they want to strip and check the said engines at the end of the season. Yeah, as a whole, they are just identical engines. There'll be like horsepower, like 1 or 2 horsepower different, maybe between across the board, which you get that anyway. In any engine, as a whole, you should be running all kind of the same kind of.
Is it race fuel, or is it just standard unleaded fuel? Or
I use jet. I use.
Would explain the full championships.
There was
what I will say about Legends is it's just like one big family, isn't it? If somebody's struggling or having an issue with something, everybody comes in to help out.
Yeah, and like Michael's lot of kind of helped us out a lot this year. We had a smashed axle or Knockhill before Alton, I think it was. And the guys there at Minimax kind of dug in deep and helped out and did some welding, and they're incredible. And it's you're right enough, it's just one big family, and everyone helps anyone. If there's anything, parts or labour, or Max had a big shunt this weekend, just was race meeting, just passed a big
Mm.
and Matt that was helping Scott Smith out. Matt kind of used to help us as well at Cresta, and Matt was up kind of helping rebuild Max's car, and I think it was 4 or 5 guys on Max's car to get it out. Yeah, we're not afraid to help each other and ask for help as well, which I think is a big thing.
I think it's mostly to do with, we're all at this stage of racing. We all just do it because we enjoy racing. We know we're never going to get scouted to go into touring cars or anything like that. We just do it because we all love racing. And at the end of the day, we just all want to race each other. And it's not fun seeing a car at the side of a track crash. Everyone just kind of want to get stuck in and get involved. I mean, I've had a lot of issues this year with my engine not performing, and everyone's trying to, could it be this, could it be that? Could it be A? Could it be B? And everyone just tries to help each other.
Can you, like we were talking about C1s earlier on, Michael, can you, if somebody has a racing license, can they rent a Legend for a weekend? Is there teams that do that? Do you mind me asking how much it costs? Just roughly.
Case in point is there is a young lad who used to race Fiestas called Brody Orr.
Oh yeah, wee Brod.
Yes.
He rented a car for the Alton Park round. and joined
Right.
us on the grid. And I think he is trying to get back onto the not kill grid for touring cars again, so he should be back out. On costs, I have no idea.
Mm.
I have no idea what people charge for the renting of it.
Right. Because Brody's dad was George, if I remember, Fiesta Supremo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, wonderful addition. He done fantastic down at Alton Park. His first time in the car, really, and he kept it on the track when people were throwing it off in the wet. And I think he managed to do a top 10 finish, starting 34th, 32nd. So he done really, really well.
Absolutely.
That's all you can ask
There is a kind of backstory to it. I'm hoping to get out for a couple of sessions next year. It won't be this year. It will be next year. My problem is this. So
Yeah, can you get out of a Legends car?
I'll just
you get out of a Legends car full stop, John.
Thanks, Aaron.
That's the question you need to be asked.
I mean, can you have two number 66s on the grid? Just wonder, because I'll be at the back anyway.
That's the thing about Legends gets a bit of a stick for the size of them and thinking that you have to be quite a small person to get into them. But I mean, look at the Stuart Black, for example, multiple championship winner, and he's Gigantor.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
he fits in the car quite nicely. So they will fit. You will fit.
Yeah.
It won't
So
be.
what
Andrew
you're
Donald.
saying-
Andrew Donald.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andrew Donald's a tall, a well-built fella, and he fits in a Legend fine. We'll leave it just well-built.
Saying that, before you two came on, we did actually find out that I'm lighter than we are in here.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Not
God
to
only
double
knows.
face shame him. So what I'm hearing is that my little 5'1" self would actually have a whole lot of room in
You
that.
need a lot of lead on that craft.
That would be the biggest problem. Because we run to strict weight limits in the cars. If you're quite light, especially with these new water-cooled engines, you need an awful lot of lead and an awful lot of fuel in your tank to get through the weight limit.
Mm.
That's
Right.
the biggest.
Oh, look at Ryan McLeish. He must have a lot of lead on his car.
Yeah,
Oh dear, he's-
I think he's at the full allowance, really.
Mhm,
All
mhm.
right.
I'm just under it, just and no more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got, I don't know, we must have about 16, between 12, 14 kilos, maybe a bit more than that, maybe actually.
How much do you weigh, Ben?
I can bleep it if you want me to. Just let me know.
Well, my 14 stone. So what's that in kilos?
See, Aaron, old school, stone.
See, I go by kg because kg is the easiest to do. You know,
Yeah.
it's
And if you've got 16 kilograms, I'm 73 kilograms. So there you go. That's how
Right,
much I weigh.
okay.
So I've got
Yeah.
16 on you. Well, 17 on you, plus all the lead that we need to stick on it as well. So
Yeah,
poor little car.
I know. But then you can place it where you want it, though.
That is the benefit. So we can get the cross weights a bit better.
Mhm.
And I suppose
I'm
you're
gonna-
not
sorry,
as
Adam.
easy to tip over.
Exactly.
Talking of tipping, sorry, Amber, that was a great segue. Can you two, I'm hoping you haven't, but have any of you experienced a bad crash, and whether it be minis or legends, whatever?
Anything.
yeah, it's
Well,
not
and-
actually because I know you've been there for years, Ben, like 20 years on, and I'm not like you first for Michael. Like, I know you did to 2018. I'm not had one beforehand that, so that's a quite interesting question. Actually. I don't think the answer to that.
I don't think I've had I've written the chassis off,
Ooh.
but that was just a head-on crash. I've never done a touchwood, an
Yeah.
up and over or a side-by-side. Yeah. I've seen plenty, but
Mhm.
no, I've never experienced.
No,
Yeah.
because there was that one in was it 2017 on the start finish and anti-clockwise. I couldn't tell you who it was for the life of me.
That
We
was-
went like up and over like front to rear.
We pat.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I've got a playlist like old not kill races to chuck on my go to sleep just to watch them because why not? You know, it's fun. The first I chucked on, I just chucked all it 5 minutes in to sleep and we'll see his that. I'm like, how have I looked at that before? That's mental.
Well, Stuart Black
It shows
did.
a safety car as well. You know, like I thought, did he walk away from that pretty well?
I think
Yeah,
he
the car was
raced
out the
that
next
top in
day.
the next race.
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot that how safe these cars are as well. Like you look at the things, you wouldn't guess they're that safe, but I mean, they're brilliant. You know. But yeah,
Well,
Michael,
Stuart-
have you got?
Stuart Black, Stuart Black rolled in 2024, didn't he?
Yeah, and then
That was
Yeah.
out the
won,
next day.
Yeah.
then won the race the next day doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So he learned his lesson.
Touch wood again. I haven't had a rollover, a side by side, or anything like that. I've had my fair share of shunts, but nothing that has warranted me to have a bad one, really.
Nothing that
Yeah.
you've been sitting behind the wheel going, oh no.
To be fair, I do that in the holding
You
area.
remember
anyway.
that one? You remember that one? That was when me and you came together last year, was it?
And it starts. And it starts.
I don't know where it's gone. I don't know where it's gone. No, Ben fired me at the bottom, and I'm the one who gets disqualified for it. But this is funny.
Right. To save this petty argument, can you two comment on the truth of this particular story I've been told many a time? So, there is a story that during a Legends race, someone had a bit of a shunt, and their chassis was basically kind of pulled into itself. And the story goes is they had two cars either side holding on to it, and they just pulled it apart, stretched it back to how it was supposed to be. Apologies for my cat if you heard him. Can you comment on whether that is true, or if it's a good tactic to bring your car back to relatively normal?
See, I've never heard this in my life. I'm quite concerned with this.
I have heard it several times.
I've never seen it in a Legend, but I have seen it in a Mini, where the chassis legs is the same thing in a Mini, is the most important part of a car for setting up your car. And if you bend them, you're stuck. It was a thing we've done in the Minis before. Chassis legs was kind of bent, so we kind of jerry-rigged it up and then used a pickup to basically try and pull it back, so you went full speed to try and bend it back. But yeah, we've seen some pretty dodgy things, but I don't know if that story is true in Legends. Ben might be able to.
I've not heard that, but I can't see why it wouldn't work. But like we've got, obviously, you've got porter power. Porter power is it kind of you kind of pump up the hydraulic and it'll just kind of push the legs apart. That's kind of. But I suppose if you haven't got them, then you got to do what you got to do and just hook the cars up to it and drive.
I know you don't particularly have speedometers, do you, in your cars?
No.
But could you give us a rough estimate, possibly, of a kind of 0 to 60 time, a top speed, and my kind of miles per gallon, I suppose?
I don't know, would you?
I think top speed in a draft is 110, 111? They're not.
Probably something. I'm sure I've had 113.
not-
I'm sure I've had 113 going reverse.
Yeah, that's right. Ben's is 113. Mine's is about 110. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But yeah, top speed wise, they're not the fastest cars in the world, but because the acceleration is where I don't know what the 0 to 60 would be though.
Sure, it's 3.5.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It's about 3.5.
Yeah. What kind of horsepower do these things throw?
Again, mine differs from Ben. Ben's is about 160. Mine's is about 150.
So the power to weight ratio is actually pretty decent then. That's why they
absolutely.
go.
They are. Yeah. So we're just shy 600 kilos over the scales, and I think it's about 135 horsepower.
Something
roughly.
like that, yeah.
Roughly.
Not too bad. Not too shabby.
No, I'm sure the air cooled. I'm sure it was a good one was like 128. I'm sure the air cooled 128, 130. So the new 3 cylinders do have a few horse more.
And they keep them horses throughout the race, which makes life a bit easier.
Yes, absolutely.
You wouldn't want them running away now, would you?
Definitely not.
No.
So, just sort of in general, right? Obviously, Ben, you've been Legends for about 20 years odd. Mike, we're still relatively new to Legends. No, I'm not really new. Is it third season or third full season?
Third full season, yeah.
Yeah. So, have you ever seen just like what's the I don't know what word to use, like just craziest sort of thing you've seen, like racing, like it would be minis, Legends, whatever, like just sort of random story to tell everybody.
I'll let Ben go first.
I remember Ross Marshall barrel rolling at Duffus. That was proper head over arse with Duffus. That was a big into the catch fence, I think, as well. That was a biggie.
That sounds like what Liam Kelso did at the October meeting last year.
Yeah, because somebody has cleaned that up. If you remember that.
I don't know if you've seen Croft, but you go through the first corner and then you've got the little chicane and then you go in that back straight just as you go out.
Yeah.
There's a marshal post just at the end of a straight that comes to a sudden stop. And the most horrific one I've seen was where it was Legends. I think it was a year before you joined again, Ben. With Mark Beatty, he was put 2 cars in front of me. There was a guy slowing up in front of him. He never seen it. Went to the right and then went head first into the tyre wall, basically to a sudden stop. That was probably the one time where I've went that he's not walking out of this. That was wild. And the fact he came back round and you seen him out of the car, I think it just shows the testament of how strong these little cars actually are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then I suppose they have to be tough, don't they? Because the racing is that close and it's that frantic.
Yeah.
But it does definitely draw the crowds in, because I have noticed more recently, probably the last couple of years, it used to be, well, you guys were usually on the last race of the day, but the fans started sticking about, and especially behind post 10, and there was just loads and loads of fans sticking about, whereas normally they would have been away in years gone by. But I think people have realised that the racing is that good, they stick around to watch.
I remember when we last supported the touring cars at Knockhill. That was 2008. No, I can't remember when it was. It could be 2008.
Yeah.
And we were the last race of the day, and just at the end of the race, doing the slow down lap and just looking to see the sheer volume of people still at the track was unbelievable. We were doing, I think it was, well, me, Dave Newsham, as a couple of others, we were kind of quite near the front. We were doing donuts by the tri-oval and the pit entrance and all that. The crowds were just absolutely loving it. And it's good to see. I kind of think for a long time we've been kind of we've not had the publicity and that we deserve as legends, because they are. It's fast, furious, intense racing. And you can just see how excited Richard and Paul O'Neill got when they were commentating in Alton Park. It's just you don't get that with. I'm obviously biased, but you just don't get that with any other motorsport.
No.
No, you're right. It's like with again, we were talking about this earlier on with the C1s. Kudos to the guys that are driving these things, but when you've got a car racing series where you hear the tyre squeal before you hear the engine,
yes,
not my favourite.
I think it's like
what an assembly, because they go to Duffus obviously for start the race, and you can't see them from assembly at all. And they go to turn one, all you hear is just screwing the tyres. You know what? It was just like the normal racing, something actually happened. So the start that waiting to count them as coming 1, 2, 3, just start counting the German group that's don't happen. No, let's just turn it. It's interesting to say the least.
Because I do get asked quite a lot, what do I prefer, minis or legends? And it's an easy answer. Yeah, I love the minis. It was great fun. I loved just being side by side with people, rubbing doors with them, banging doors and whatnot. It was great fun. But when you've got 25 plus legends now, we're fully capacity at 34 at the minute, it's just absolute carnage. It's like Ben says, it's fast, it's furious. Every race is different because you're always racing different people because of the mixed grid. And Not Kill have done a fantastic job this year with the calendar, getting us onto touring cars and whatnot. And the grid's just growing from strength to strength. We've got waiting lists for people trying to get on. And yeah, it's just fantastic.
So, just sort of to add on to the capacity thing, I know there was talk about at the start of the season where there was going to be a possibility there was enough legends on the grid that would be split into an ABC, or at least that's what we were hearing. What would you guys think of that if that came to life, if it went to an ABC format instead of just 34 on the grid at once?
I would probably kind of welcome it a bit, because I think just now 34 cars is just too much. They need to do something with the way it's ran. There's too many cars, in the race, and there's too many different capabilities of drivers. I've been talking to Al, my mechanic, about this, and probably a few of the other guys, that I think we need to do something different for, but not just the final. I think just the heats and the final, whether we use familiarization to take the top 15 in the timing sheet, and then they go into first to 15 on the bull draw, and then from 15 downwards they do their own bull draw, just so it kind of keeps the slow guys at the back, well, but not to the back, but to the tail end of the grid. So because I've had a few kind of decent crashes this year, and it's been due to slower drivers, not just slightly slower, but 5, 6, 7 seconds a lap slower. And that's not their fault, but I just feel that there should be some kind of cut-off for timings, just so we don't have, because a lot of these crashes can be avoided because of abilities and all that kind of stuff. So I think we need to rejig the way we do things for next year. And the split grid, the A, B, and C. Yes, that'll take the numbers down for each race, and then you're going to go into a pre-final and
like a last chance race or whatever.
Yes,
like that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then you go into the actual final. That may be kind of a better option as well.
So as well, just want to mention slower cars in this. There was an incident on the weekend. I'm not exactly sure what numbers it was, but I can't remember what year it was, to be honest with you. I think it was on Sunday. But we had a crash at Duffus. What we heard over the radio from it, we know everyone's all right now. So what we heard over the radio was the post chief said something along the lines of there was smoke and then there was cars everywhere.
Yeah.
Was their description of the incident. So I'm not sure you guys know what happened, but do you guys know sort of what happened in that whole chaos?
So I think Ben and I were literally side by side at that point. We started next to each other that race. And I think it was just an incident of 34 cars into one doesn't really work. And again, it was the abilities up at the front, because what happened, it's just a concertina effect. One person checks up, someone ran into someone else, spun, I think it was Declan around, and then Declan was facing the wrong way and Max just went head first into him. But I will say Declan ended up having to get an operation. So I wish my best to him and hope he's okay.
Absolutely.
Because it's just one of these things that it's just unfortunate that it happens. It's just when you have that many cars on the grid, accidents will happen. And it's normally the accidents that don't look bad. So the guys that go up and over are the ones that walk away. And then we have a relatively, it wasn't a high speed like smash compared to what other instances have been. It was just a big hit and a shock load. And it was just, unfortunately, it was head to head.
Yeah. I mean, if you compare it to, I mean, what was it, an April meet in the final on the Saturday, because I had the big part on Sunday, didn't we?
Ah, yes.
With the incident there. That's, again, as far as I'm aware, he was all right. Yeah.
I can't remember what happened.
When the safety car came out on the second lap of the final in the anti-clockwise on the Saturday April meet, and somebody got, again, I can't remember the numbers for life of me, but somebody got rear-ended and sent into the wall at panic brake, and then comes back on spinning.
And you see me-
Davy Allen.
I believe
Maybe.
so.
Or was it Aki?
What number is it? I'll go back into the steward's port and have a look.
Because all I remember is I was post 9, which is hairpin out, or at least in anti-clockwise it's hairpin in. I didn't see post 10 do anything, put any sort of flags out, so I instantly just grabbed my double yellows, because I know you guys would see me from what way you're coming. So I remember that very well. There was basically nothing left of that car.
No, that's right. That was Neil Shenton.
Yes.
And yes, that was massive. And again, you see that one and you think, yeah, that's going to hurt. And Neil gets out of the car and he's trying to repair it for the next race.
Yeah.
He's absolutely fine.
Like, I mean, you can check how legit this was, but what I heard was me and Mum went on to see he was going to get out the next day, and just sort of told him. He wasn't there, but I think it was sort of his teammate, something to do with it. One of his mates was there, and we were talking to him last night. It was the other night, and what we got told was she was already having a beer last night. So as far as I'm aware, it was pretty good. But I mean, like, even that is like, that's probably the most terrifying thing I've seen marshalling so far. Because I think the worst part of it for me was that you see safety come out, all smoke comes up, and then he goes off, but you don't actually see him hit the wall. Like, we don't see where the car comes out, we just see him go off at Mac Hill.
His wheel almost hit me. I think his wheel hit Mark Beattie, which then deflected away from me, just rolling kind of across the front of us. I'm sure it was that him and Davy Allen?
Yeah, I think it was another instance of 34 cars on the first lap.
Yeah.
The safety, some people saying the safety car board, some people didn't, and he ended up getting rear-ended, and it was quite a big one.
I think the steward's report said something along the lines of, basically, people went in, safety car comes out, they hit the brakes, tire smoke comes up, and it was something along the lines of the car that had hit him was side by side of another car, but to an extent where he couldn't see the marshal post, and then he's just gone straight into him at full racing speed, which
Exactly what it is.
just 34.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that you do when you're just racing in a big pack. I mean, you probably see it a few times when the safety car boards come out. Everyone kind of sticks their hands out the windows. And that is purely because, you might not see what's ahead when you're that close to people. And it's purely just to try and keep people safe is why we do it.
I've seen you doing that as well as you come by post 10, if you're going to the pits, drivers putting their hands out.
Yeah.
Is that you just letting drivers coming up behind know that you are going slower and you're pulling in?
Yeah. But I think that obviously we've got the race receivers, and I think it's a very inconsistent race receiver. Some days they'll be on the ball, and some days they're not. But I think as a whole, they need to be a bit kind of more kind of on the ball with the race receivers, because they're a great addition to have. It just needs to be kind of used.
So is it very similar? Sorry, I was going to say, is it similar to what we have at Formula One, where if you press the button for the yellow light board, it just comes on in your steering wheel? Same kind of idea.
Yeah, it's just earphones. So it's linked to a little one-way, and it's the steward or the clerk controls it, and they basically just let us know through the race receiver. But it's like Ben says, they can be very inconsistent in two ways, either one with the calls and two with the quality. Sometimes it's just white noise and static that we hear, and you end up, I don't know, I hope none of them watch this, but there's been a few times they're just talking too much and it's static, and you end up just pulling it out, because it's really off-putting at some point.
Especially at last meeting, it's almost like they're having a conversation. Someone's like pushed their finger on the receiver, and like they're having a conversation. I'm thinking, I'm trying to race here. Or, just pull the
Yeah. It's good to know, though. It's good to know that I'm not going to cost you a podium. But anyway, that's another story for another day.
That's another story.
So if keep it short, because it's always the Billy Noel Dad's podcast, I'm pretty sure if you listen to this consistently, you're sick of hearing it. Long story short, Mr. Why have I forgotten your name? I know your name. What the hell? My mind's gone blank completely.
Michael,
John,
Ben,
right.
John.
I've told this man for like half a year now. Jesus Christ. Right, yeah. John was at Cops for the F1, and John Lewis Hamilton got investigated for going through the yellows.
I knew that was you because I watched your Instagram story and I seen the blue flag going, and I was like, you've just saved that man. You have
Yeah,
seen-
he put it
Yeah.
on 2 seconds too late. Because what he told us was he's looking up the track and he just says, "Oh, Nico's off," and obviously he just pulled off mechanical.
Nico?
It wasn't like a massive, like, he just pulled off. So he looks across and then presses yellows after that. So if we just press yellow as soon as he hits Nico,
Yeah.
Lander's got a podium. So thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So- So the
Get
race
fucked.
race director was down, and I did speak to him about it, and he did say I did absolutely nothing wrong, which is absolutely fine. But if I'd have pressed the yellow button 1.5 seconds earlier, then Lewis would have been more around the corner, and he would have got more than likely a 10-second penalty, which meant Lando would have went on.
He's a Lando fan as well, by the way. Just
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's the thing. When you're a flag marshal or a marshal in general, you have to be impartial. Like, I may have my drivers that I don't particularly like because, just don't like their driving style, or they've said something to me in the paddock and I don't like them. But if they were to
Well, they've not
crash at
done
my
that plumbing.
post, I've let you off for that one. If they crash at my post, I will still have to go and treat them exactly the same as I would if it was, say, yourselves or a driver that I liked. So it's one of these things you have to be impartial. Like, when I'm a flag marshal, I absolutely hate giving some people a blue flag, or I absolutely hate putting out a yellow flag for, say, whether it be yourselves or someone else. But you have to be
Also-
impartial.
Huh?
You can't just say, you know what, Michael's there. I'm actually not going to give him I'm not going to give him a blue flag. So,
Yeah, if you could just carry on like that, that'd be fantastic.
will do.
well, it's kind of like as well. Obviously, when you guys have finished your racing, you're coming back into the pits. We'll either give you a clap or a wave or whatever. And I'm going to cut this bit out. But when 66 comes up, I just go, sorry. Because all I've done is just wave a blue flag at him for the whole race. And I feel really, and it's nothing to do with, like you were talking earlier on, the guy's 100% dedicated into what he's doing. He's
Absolutely.
just a slower driver.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like if I stepped into the Legends car now, like I'm not going to be at the back of the pack by the end of the race. I'm off the track at time on. I'm
Yeah.
not making duffers. I'm going to turn to the corner, see if I've been done it once, and I've been done it a couple times. I've been done it in a Hyundai i30.
Yeah, well, ignore the fact you don't have a driving license.
Yeah, I don't drive it. For the record, I do bike
wow.
marshal as well. And literally, to recover the bike, so you just literally go around the track at full speed in some random van, which, you hang on for dear life in it, basically. And then you pull around, chuck the bike in the back, and the rider most of the time has to go in the back with a bike, and just a closed van, and then you just go around again. It's just, it's crazy compared to car marshalling, but yeah, the drop to duff is just, I don't think you do it just consistently at max speed, It's
See, that's where I'm the complete opposite to yourself, Aaron, because I'm hitting 50 very, very soon, and I think I'm Michael Schumacher. I think I could get in one of your cars and drive it as fast as you do, but I guarantee you that next year that won't happen. I'll be at the back. But anyway,
You should go into an experience with Andrew. Legend. Have you done anything legend orientated or legend experience before?
no, I just missed out on the fun days. So marshals used to get fun days. You probably remember that. But there was 2 years where I couldn't make it, and then the 1 year where I could make it, they stopped doing it. So the closest I've got to a legend is probably sitting in it while it was towed up Paddockbury.
I was sat in the training day this year. You had to get somebody to go sit in the car to get extracted,
Oh,
and I
God.
tore my knee not even 30 days earlier. And I thought it'd be a great idea to go sit in the Legends car and try to get extracted, which wasn't. Just thank God I didn't go in the Formula car and do it, because that would have been a lot worse.
What
Yeah,
I'm
that-
looking forward to is the fact that, although yes, there's a big grid. Even if I'm going to do a couple of rounds in the C1s, it's a smaller grid, but it's the fact that you can push a car to its limits, knowing technically that there's nothing round the next corner. You're not going to run into a police, or you're not going to run into parked cars. Or,
Yeah, something coming towards you.
yeah, that's the thing. Well, like I say, I don't know. Everyone thinks they're Michael Schumacher, don't they?
On that note, seems we're talking about Schumacher and how John is totally the reincarnation of him, even though he's not dead. Obviously, in Legends, with such a big grid and such a tight time scale, we do see a lot of incidents, which obviously typically is a first lap incident, but sometimes you do behave and it's a second or third lap incident, and we get the safety car brought out. Do you guys think that Not Kill and just the rules and regulations in general should add the laps behind the safety car back on at the end? So say you started, I don't know, the final 10 laps, first lap in, you get a safety car and it lasts for 5 laps, which is effectively half the race. Do you think you should get those 5 laps added back on?
So we do, at Knockhill only, get additional laps added up to a maximum of 3. So if we get 3 laps behind the safety car, we'll get the 3 laps back. But if there's anything above that, we still only get 3, which is a good thing. If they had any more, we would quite probably struggle on fuel. I don't know. I'm pretty close on fuel as it is, because the fuel tanks will go back to where you asked for the miles.
Is that why you've got 8 lap races and a 10 lap race in your last one? Because the fuel, the capacity of fuel you can actually hold?
I think that's more to do with, Ben will be able to answer that, more to do with the air-cooled engines back in the day, where they just probably couldn't handle the heat.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think because it's obviously it's track time as well in total, so we're trying to the same as everyone else. Obviously, everyone else does like 2 races, but maybe more laps as we get less laps but more races kind of things. It's all to do with like kind of the same laps.
Yeah.
Allowed time.
And with the Legends kind of being based at Knockhill, and I take it you're treated really well by Knockhill. Kind of anything you want, you kind of, not anything you want you get, but they treat you really well with like testing time and all that kind of stuff.
It's a bit of a weird one with a Legend, because for some reason Knockhill is the only circuit in the UK that classes them as an open wheeled car. And when it comes to testing, you're not allowed to test open wheel with closed wheel at Knockhill.
Right.
But if you go down south, we're allowed to test with, like, there was an instant last year where we were testing with Fiestas and Minis or something.
Yes.
Right.
And that is a weird feeling when you're sitting a wee Legend and then you're seeing a Mini, you're trying to pass them because we are so low compared to that.
Yeah,
But
I don't trust that.
But, you know, testing is testing. There's not a lot of time we actually get in the car to actually test it. So I think me and Ben are probably the ones that stay out the most when testing's happening. A lot of people just tend to do a few laps and park it, but for some reason we just keep going round and round.
But that's why
Michael.
that's why you use it at the front in the races, though, isn't it?
Well, and that and just our natural ability, I think, Michael?
Of course. But it's the same in it.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Ben can say the same thing. You know, a lot of the time people only just see the racing part. They don't see the parts that go into it to actually get onto the grid. You know, you hear a lot of people talking about, you know, trying to find the funding to do it, because that part's really, really difficult. But I think Ben's in the same scenario as me. You know, we both run with teams, but we kind of look after our own cars as well. So, you know, my car lives in one of the garages up at Knockhill. So twice a week I'll go up to Knockhill. You know, I live an hour away from Knockhill, so I'll go up. I was up there last night till 10 o'clock, just, you know, tinkering and getting the car ready for touring cars. You know, you'll strip it down beds. You know, unfortunate this year had quite a few nasty incidents, so he's probably spent a lot of time fixing it, trying to get it ready and whatnot. And people don't see that side of it, which is where the real time comes into it. You know, you're away from your family, just trying to get your car ready and whatnot, and that's the bit that is the struggle.
Yeah, well, just Tuesday past, we've actually got my engine casings cracked, and it was leaking oil last Knockhill. So I actually, I'm lucky that I'm self-employed, so I could take time out on Tuesday and put it in the trailer. I didn't even take it out of the trailer from Knockhill. It was still in the trailer, and I just took it straight to a guy kind of an hour away to get the engine welded, and hopefully he's welded it, and hopefully it's going to hold for the touring cars, because if that doesn't hold, then you're looking at a new engine. Yeah, you're right. And I've got bumpers to fix. Yes, I need to give it a good steam clean up. Well, I've still got the rear axle, because when I crashed in the final, we DNF'd in the final. It's the Gerard McCosh final. Last year I had a DNF. This year I had a DNF. I'm just
Gerard McCosh doesn't like you very much.
I know. Me and Gerard knew Gerard for well over 20 years. Oh my God, it would be about 20 years. Every bar on the rear axle was either bent or broken. We've got that to fix as well, and it's all dusty. I've got to steam clean it, and there's a fair bit to do. You have to have a very understanding and wife and family to allow us to have this. You know, I'm lucky that my in-laws stay in Edinburgh, so we go down to Knockhill. That my wife and the girls go across to Edinburgh for the Friday, which gives me the time at Knockhill on Friday to test and kind of get the car prepped, and then they're up again on Saturday and Sunday, same as Michael and his wife, and the little bundle of joy as well. So it's a real kind of family orientated as well. We have to very very understanding and forgiving partners in life.
Could you give us a ballpark figure for somebody that decided, do you know what, I want to go legend racing? How much would it cost just to get on the grid?
I think it depends if you have accidents or not.
I was going to say, give us the number with incidents.
See, Ben has been really unfortunate with the number of accidents he's had. I've been really unfortunate with the number of mechanicals. So Ben's chucking money at mechanical fixes, accident damage, and I'm chucking money at trying to fix my car mechanically. I think you're talking roughly a weekend, about what, £1,200 a weekend, give or take, roughly.
Does that include entry?
Good
Well,
point.
yeah, a bit more when you include the entry. Yeah.
So I was thinking, so Joe Blogs listening to the podcast, listens to this, really likes the idea of it and says, right, I think I'm going to go for a season in the Legends next year. What would they need just as a basic to get on the grid if they had, just say they have no incidents a year? Are we talking 10k, 20k?
Well,
So-
roughly. To buy the car, you're probably looking between kind of with 20 plus
20
Yeah.
thousand.
With the new cars. Yeah.
I think probably, well, I know Stewart's was kind of the high 20s, and I would expect kind of mine and Michael's cars to be kind of the high 20s as well to buy. And then you're probably looking, well, your race entries are what? Well, for non-touring car meetings are 480 quid, is it?
475,
75,
yeah. So I think entry fees this year for the 6 not kills and 2 away rounds, Oulton Park and Croft, but including the 2 touring cars, I think it's just shy of £5,000. No, it'll be over that now because they bolted on some more costs. So I think it's just over 5 and a bit for your entry
Wow.
fees.
Then you get your
But
tyres,
it's
obviously,
all-
fuel, your gear and all that kind of stuff adds up
Yeah,
as well,
and
doesn't it?
Ben's the same as us. We change the engine oil, the diff oil every meeting. So, there's a couple of £100 just on miscellaneous stuff. Or, you do what Ben does. You're going to fit a new engine, don't bring a new filter. So you have to ask someone else for a filter.
Did return the filter, yeah? A new one.
Yeah, it's
But
not
it's all the hidden costs that people don't see. Brake
Tyres.
fluid is expensive. Tires are expensive. Fortunate
You
our
should-
tires. Yeah, we shave.
You should,
So it's all the hidden costs. So probably if you don't include the car or your gear,
Mm.
if you're trying to do it without a team as well, you probably need about, and if you're trying to do it dirt cheap, about £10,000 probably is where you're at roughly to do a year.
at the very least.
The bare minimum, yeah.
Wow. Well, saying that, I mean, 10 grand's not bad because SMRC, they promoted the C1s, didn't they? Was it 7,000 or something to get a season racing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like that.
in terms of motorsport costs, and it's going to pain me for saying this, running a Legends car is much cheaper than doing anything else.
Mhm.
As soon as you go
Absolutely.
south of the border, the prices just go 2 to 3 times more. And it was one of the main reasons that I moved over to Legends. I raced Scottish Minis for 5 years, and we thought about running the National Mini. It was exactly the same car with some minor differences, but because run it down there, you were talking about 3 to 4 times more than what it would cost to run in Scotland, which is just astronomical money for a car that's identical. And it's where Scotland gets it right. Our entry fees are quite reasonable for how much track time we get, and the general cost. It is an awful lot of money, don't get me wrong. But in terms of motorsport, it's on the lower end. You look at the guys in cars, you're probably talking over £200,000 to run in touring cars this year. It's
Yeah.
astronomical.
Well, we were talking to Mikey Doble at the beginning of the year, and he was talking quite a bit about that. A lot of people don't realise that a lot of these touring car drivers, they're not particularly getting paid from the teams. They're having to pay the teams to drive the car.
Yeah, I'm assuming a lot of Mikey's funding comes from the motorcycles, which is why I'm as well back there because he sent us some free merch, which is very nice of him. But yeah, we've got free t-shirts now, which I was going to wear today, but I had to go to garden work, so I had to throw it in the wash. But I've got just dumb questions to ask you guys. So I'll start with you, Michael, first, right? Obviously, I was kicking about you guys and me, Max, on the Friday, the testing for the July meet. That night, you talked about Ali Chalmers' documentary coming out. So just the watch party for that. What do you think of it? You're watching the documentary. Was it good fun to watch the team together?
Ali is just an inspirational character. Like his whole story with getting involved in racing after, a horrible accident when he was skiing. And then just to go, you know what, I'm not going to let it beat me. And then just get right into it, and had no motorsport history at all. Just thought, I want to do something, get involved, get that adrenaline pumping again. And his family, they all get it. And Ali is just fantastic. Minimax, my team, they've had to make an automatic race car, basically work with hand controls and everything. So it's been a technical challenge for them. But, Ali I've driven the car with the hand controls and I have no idea how he does it. I genuinely have no idea. I mean, it's a pull steering wheel. So you've got about that much play in the throttle, which is nothing. And then the braking is all done by push, which I got confused just trying to do it myself. So I have no idea how he does it. It's just in a documentary that's came out, just, it's perfectly shows what club level motorsport is and what it can do for people. Just to allow Ali to get out there and race, it's just fantastic. And that's a great thing about motorsport, that it is a level playing field across the board. Whether it's male, females, people with disability, everyone can just race. And I think that's
it was an incredible documentary. We watched it last weekend, I think it was. It was just how his mum got stuck in, and like with all these ideas for for the front of the throttle pedals and brake pedal and all that. She just got so stuck into it. It was an absolute, you're right, Michael. It was an absolute inspiration
as well. That was brilliant.
Yeah, it's
that was so funny.
It's a case in point of Ali had a small incident. I think it was 2 meetings ago, where they had a crack in the gearbox. It was just unfortunately hit the curb that we were talking about at the chicane a bit too much and ended up with a small crack. And he thought his weekend was done, but then they remember, because it's trying to source the parts for that car is incredibly difficult, because it's a specific gearbox that needs to be get brought up from, and they're not very common in road cars. But obviously they had that track car, so his mum drove it up on the Saturday night. And the boy stripped out the gearbox, put that gearbox in the car, and he was racing it on Sunday. And
you got the mini in the garage, haven't you? Just rest in peace, store the car.
Much to Carol, his mum's delight, she absolutely adores that car, and the poor thing's now got his heart, he's got his life ripped out of it because it's now turned into a donor car. But I think the boys are, as we speak, actually are rebuilding it to get back out, so you can get back out to games. Just keep getting that something.
So going to you, Ben, as well. Obviously, I'm not sat about your team yet. We'll consider it at some point. No. I'm joking. But from just walking past you, I've interviewed you a couple of times, right? I have noticed that you have this absolutely massive fan in the back of that tent. I want to know how much that costs, because it is the size of me. My point is, it's massive.
I've not Colin just rocked up with it. I arrived on the Friday before the last meeting, and this just absolute gigantic fan, something you could kind of paraglide with. It's absolutely massive, just blasting in the tent. It was unbelievable.
But is it come from the back of a hovercraft or something?
I have no idea where Colin got it from. No idea.
It's brilliant. I would love that, because I'm overheating and I'm overalls, and I walk by and I just see this hovercraft fan.
That is a bit more jealous of my life. That is one thing that I think doesn't get said a lot. We complain that we get too hot in the cars, with our fireproofs on and our suits on, and we're only in them for 20 minutes at a time. But then you look at you guys with your overalls on in the beating sun for the 12 hours. I generally don't know how you do it, whether it comes rain or shine. Yous are the beating heart.
Stupidity.
That's a good answer. I mean, I'm not playing about it, because on
you're
the
an
Friday
assembly.
Came up,
you're an assembly. You can take off your.
Oh yeah,
you can
but
take
I'm
off.
better in overalls. If Lee Fisher comes out of nowhere to throws me, I have my overalls on, and I'm absolutely mob there. You got to be aware. But on the Friday, I got really bad sunburn, so I was not complaining, because it was my arms were now all red, so I had overalls on, so nobody could see it. So it was great. I didn't have all the other cadet marshals just slap my arms and stuff, but I survived that. So
I just want to touch on something that Michael said a second ago there. You were saying that the marshals, the beating heart of the motorsport type thing.
Absolutely.
Totally get it. But I also think as well, from my point of view, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to stand on the banking either.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for you guys racing, we couldn't be standing on the banking. So
I do think that you guys, the way that the not-kill weather is, the case in point was Saturday compared to the Sunday, that last one, Saturday was horrendous. Well, not horrendous, but it wasn't nice. And Sunday was absolutely toasting. You guys you're always smiling. Well, when we have the unfortunate moments where we do get parked next to you or crash next to you, you guys, even when our bottom lips are out and we're stomping around, being charging around the company and whatnot, you guys are always just trying to cheer us up as well. And just without you guys, like you say, we couldn't go racing at all. So no, thank you to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But without you guys racing, we wouldn't be standing there either. Just
on the Saturday as well, the weather. I think I posted on my profile, but the only photos I got from that weekend was a little 10-minute segment before I think it was Fiestas went out, where Lee was in the assembly area, and my hair is it's not nice, but I look shocking in it. I'm just absolutely drenched in the water. I don't realize I'm drenched.
You look like a drowned rat.
It's brilliant. When you look through, you'll have a good laugh. That's what I'm saying.
Do you guys have any deals with the photographers like John Stewart or Lee Fisher or anything? Is there anything?
So I run John stickers on my car, and he sends me photos, but I like to try and, I think Ben might be the same, I like to try and pay the photographers for the photos, because again, they're out there in the horrible weather catching photos for us to use on social media. you know, some promotional.
Does he get extra if he gets you on two wheels coming out of the chicane?
Tell you what, I love this. They're the best. I think John's got a flow with me with no wheels on the deck
Yeah.
as well.
I've got one. Yeah, John, it was my old car going over the Duffus, and the cloud behind the car was like really angry cloud, and my all four wheels are off the deck. It's just, I think I had it in my profile picture for a while. Absolutely incredible picture. John is unbelievable. Well, all the photographers up there. You kind of on a Sunday night or a Monday night, you're kind of scrolling through Facebook and you just see all these pictures from the weekend, and they're absolutely fantastic pictures. But yeah, you're right.
Have you ever
Michael.
noticed? And you go, sorry.
As Michael said, try and kind of pay for the pictures and all that, but they never take a penny. They just it's just a passion of theirs, and they just kind of want to share the love of their photographs and all that.
That's where most of our profile pictures come from as well, I think, is John Stewart.
I mean, I'm not on track, so I don't really get. I'm assuming John Stewart's flight photography.
Yeah, he's flat out.
Yeah, right out. I never met him. I don't think so. At least I might not. I'm not sure.
It is quite funny though, Aaron, because if you go through some of his, when he puts the albums on, and he's maybe put 100, 200 photographs on, you'll generally find that all the ones with the likes is all the ones with the marshals, because all the marshals scroll through and just go like, they scroll by anything car, they wait for a flash of orange, like,
they go, what?
Flash of orange, like.
Or they just tag someone.
My profile picture is a really good photo. Well, I hope it's a good photo. It's my profile picture, but you get the point. But it was taken by Charlie Kelso.
No, it's a terrible photo, Aaron. You need to change it.
Right, sure. But yeah, it was taken by Charlie Kelso. He'd obviously Liam races the minis and all this. So Charlie was up for I think it was the main meet, and Liam was home for some reason. I don't know why. But he'd taken his camera with him, so he's getting photos of me the whole weekend, and it was brilliant because I'm a personal photographer for like an hour, and he got a bunch of brilliant pictures. I mean, it was brilliant, you know. So Charlie,
while you're doing your little photo shoot, me and John are like actually doing things.
Actual work.
Yeah.
In fact, what's that picture I've got? I've got on my computer. I'll send it to you guys, or I'll print it off and I'll give it to you the next time I see you. In fact,
make sure to sign it.
Yeah, I do say it. Yeah,
no. It's a picture of our little assembly marshal here standing in some sort of hut, back straight up. What this? I downloaded it onto my computer for this exact reason. I will print it off for you guys, and you can just hand it to them when you come down to the assembly. Just
when you're at a meeting fogged off, you get dumb photos like that. You know, what was that in the motorcycle? Just like you got nothing to do, you're just mucking about. That was a really that's a good question for you guys actually. You know, that told me when it got fogged off on the final day. What were you guys doing? Because we were all sat there for hours. You know. Like we were just, I don't know what John and Rambo were doing.
I was just trying to wind up Ben, because Ben was having the championship to try and win, and I was just trying to wind it up. Like, oh, we're gonna go racing. No, we're not gonna go racing. You could just see Ben pacing forward and backward.
Just looking at it. That was brutal. Absolutely brutal.
It was until 2 o'clock, was it not? I mean,
but then you left the track and it was absolutely blue sky.
Yeah.
You're running parallel to the track and it was blue sky.
So much. I go to the county and then it's just blue skies, sunshine and rainbows. What was that? The half an hour ago, you know?
And to answer your question, Aaron, I was on the start finish line that day, so I just went to the Marshalls hut and sat and then watched the TV.
Yeah, that means how this my content creation started, because you've met him a couple times, Michael, from the Finn. You recorded, he was when we recorded the video that the music one, which I'll go on for a minute because.
Oh God, not this.
But yeah. So I ran to Finn, and I was talking to Finn for a bit, and then Mr. John comes around the corner and starts talking to me, and Rama comes around the corner and starts talking to me. So I had all the not kill content creators talking they want. So, so it's a great content now. You know, I just went home and started creating content, because why not? And then this is where we're at, so I'm not playing them. But yeah, on to that. I didn't get it on camera, but I mentioned this because it's hilarious. And I mentioned it to John already. I never mentioned it in recording. But so, in case you haven't seen it, I did a video where I went around paddock, got some drivers to pre-race songs and rate the last driver's pre-race song. So I go to Michael. Michael gives me Run Boy Run, which I think personally is a good song. I think that's quite a tune, right? When it gets to Ben rates it 3 or 4. I told Michael 3 because why not?
God, here we go.
So I did Ben on the next one, and I went around to Michael and I told him, give it a 3. And all I see is Michael just jump out of his chair, like literally just jump out and you are gone straight round the fence tent. I wish I got on camera because it's hilarious.
How did that confrontation go?
Yeah, I didn't see that. I just sort of walked away. Like, I was not having any part in that. What was that conversation like?
You know, it was hard because when I picked that song, I didn't want to go full left field because I felt like I was going to get judged too much. And then Ben picks Pretty Green Eyes, and I realised I should have probably gone for something else. I actually quite like EDM more than anything, to be honest. But I was like, if I go something like that, you're just going to think I'm an actual weirdo. So I went, Run by Woodkids, a good hype up song, but then Ben rates it 3.
If I'm honest with you, I'd never heard it. And Amy, she's like, how have you not heard this song? I'm like, I've just not heard it.
That is why I like Amy more than you.
Can you confirm if you've heard the song now?
I have heard the song now, yes.
And what is your opinion of it now?
Maybe a 4 or a 5.
And Michael, what is your response to that?
No comment. It'll get me in trouble for Race for Respect. So,
can you actually hear the ZZ Top playing when you're going round?
Good question.
On your green flag lap?
No.
Thankfully.
No.
But I tell you,
You'll know when it's playing because I'll be on a post with a flag or something pretending to play guitar with a flag when he's driving past.
it's funny when we drive down, like my eldest daughter Erin is, and Lily, my youngest, she's absolutely like Knock Hill Motorsport daft. And on the drive down, we've got 2 songs that we have to listen to, and it's Sharp Dressed Band by ZZ Top and Life is a Highway from Cars. Is it Rascals?
Yes.
And that is her, Daddy, can you play the Knock Hill songs? So I don't hear it in the car, but I hear it plenty of times on the way down and on the way home. The 2.5, 3 hour journey home.
Controversial question. ZZ Top version or Nickelback version?
But it has to be ZZ Top. It has to be OG.
Yeah, same here.
In the Nickelback version
I
is
didn't know
good,
Nickelback did a
but
version, I'll be honest.
I think just to point back what Ben said about family, like without an understanding family, and it's one thing. My wife doesn't like to stand in the same spot because she doesn't want me to see her. But every time that you're behind Ben, you know where his family. Ben knows where his families are, and you always just see him giving away. And it's stuff like that just. I think that's what makes the Legends grid at the end of the day.
Yeah. Do you have rituals that you go through when you're going to racing?
Yes, I have.
You don't need to tell us, obviously.
No, I have the same pair of socks. I wear a pair of socks on Saturday that say the best dad, and then I've got socks on Sunday that's penguin socks.
Brilliant.
Just because, I'm a plumber and penguins roll out my van, and our whole family's obsessed with penguins. So I will have my lucky socks, and then I'll do the same. I'll give my girls a kiss, I'll give Amy a kiss, and then my mum. Ever since I've raced the Legends, she has a little ritual of she has to try and tighten my waist belt, and then just kisses her finger, touches my nose. She's done it every time. And then my dad will shake my hand. He has to come down to the dummy grid, and he kind of gives me a wee kind of shake of a hand and say, and a couple of words, and then he walks off. And that's his kind of all their little rituals, and then I have to wave to them when I'm out there. So yeah, I'm a very superstitious. I'd throw the toy out the pram if it's not done right or done in the right order.
Well, I know what I'm doing for touring cars.
At Alton Park, obviously Amy and the girls weren't there, so I kind of had to phone them before each race and speak to them. And then for the touring cars at Knock Hill, I don't think Amy's not coming for the Sunday. She might come for the Saturday with Erin, our eldest. It's just too busy for them to, for the Knock Hill for the touring car rounds. Yeah, I still try and do my things I do before a race, but just in a slightly different kind of version.
Yeah.
I am not as superstitious as Ben, but I do. If things go right that day, I had a certain pair of socks on. I'll try and wear them for the Sunday. But whenever 20 minutes before we probably get called, you'll find me in a toilet. That's where I am.
Yep. I'm with you. Yeah. A lot of the drivers, you'll find a lot of the drivers in the toilet.
If you want to meet some touring car drivers before a race, head to a toilet about 20 minutes before you get in a car, and I guarantee you will find half the grid in there. Because
is it a nerves thing, or is it just a ritual thing, or
nerves? 100%.
And then you'll need a pee when you get in the car and strapped in. You'll need a pee again.
Yeah. And when that red flag comes out and you're sitting on that grid waiting, and your belts are as tight as they are, it's just painful. Painful.
It reminds me of was it Jenson Button sat in for Fernando Alonso once, and they were playing the radio back, and he's like, "I'm going to pee in your seat."
It was Monaco, was it not?
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah.
Thankfully, I've never got to that point. I have gone close because I've done quite a few 24-hour races before in go-karts. You'll be in the middle of a double stint, an hour and a half stint, and then you're doing a double, so it's 3 hours, and it's 3:00 at night, and you don't know what's going on. You're contemplating life. Why are you doing this? It's raining.
Yeah,
I need to warm up, but it's just, thankfully, never happened though. Never happened.
Yeah.
Did you start in karts, Ben, or did you go straight into Legends?
No, I did karts. I did karts for 7 years. So I did we did our local tracks, Boindy. Grampian Kart Club. So we were quite heavily involved. Mum was chairperson there for a couple of years, and my younger brother, he's raced go-karts and he did Formula Fords and he's done Legends as well. So it's kind of a real family passion. But I did karts majority in Scotland. We did quite a lot of national stuff as well, but it was just a travel for us because we're obviously 30 miles north of Aberdeen, and we did one race meeting at Lyd, which is right on the Dover. So I think that was like 13, 14 hours drive.
That's a long trip, isn't it?
It was a horrendous weekend. It rained the whole weekend. We chased electrical gremlins all weekend. It was just an absolute write-off. So yeah.
So nothing's changed then.
No.
So just going to bring back to Michael, that you mentioned doing 24-hour races in the cars. What races have you done?
So I have done the Teesside or Teesside/British 24-hour, where it's a mixed grid of hire karts and pro karts. So it's like a mini Le Mans, and you won't find anything else like it kart-wise. It is absolutely bonkers. There's 90 plus karts on the grid, Le Mans style start. You've got pro karts who are about 10 seconds quicker than the higher karts, and it is carnage. It's fantastic fun, but unfortunately it's always around about the touring car time in August, so it always runs. Either we're racing the weekend before or racing of it. You don't always have the time for it, and it is something that I'll probably try and get into again and try and get a few of the legend guys into.
I'm keen for that.
Nothing comes close to it. It's absolutely bonkers. It's great fun.
They do one at Le Mans as well, don't they?
Getting like a Scottish Legends team now.
Yeah. So it's the same crowd that do the one at Le Mans. They did it, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and they actually had to start the race at 5 o'clock in the morning because of the heat temperature. They stopped at 12 o'clock when it got to, I think it was 45 degrees or 42 degrees or something. And then they waited for the sun to go down before they could start it again. But the British 24-hour, the Teesside 24-hour, nothing comes close to it because there's that many karts on the grid. It's a mixed grid with the pro karts and higher karts. I think this year, they've got 60 odd higher karts and 20 odd pro karts.
Wow.
So the speed difference is absolutely mental. There's nothing like a 24-hour race as well. It's just, you're walking around the paddock at 3 o'clock in the morning and people are sleeping in weird, funny positions. And there's some people getting ready to go for a stint. There's some people contemplating their life after a stint.
Have you ever done the Silverstone kart, the new one?
Not yet. I want to. It looks fantastic.
Me and Aaron interviewed the manager for Silverstone kart last weekend because they have 4 tracks in one. It's kind of like Silverstone circuit itself. They use a bit for like a national, use a bit for an international, and they use a Grand Prix. And what was it, Aaron? You said they've got 90 karts or something they've got there. 90.
Something ridiculous.
Like
I think they're different class karts. Like you said, Mike, like higher and pro, that sort of split. But it's some ridiculous amount of karts they've got. I don't think I put 90 on track at once. If the whole mock, because if I can, that's absolutely crazy.
No,
I'll to do that. That'd be great, but that'd be interesting.
I'll send you the link to the normally the TC24 is live streamed, and it's Le Mans style start for that, and it's just absolutely carnage. And it's just there's nothing else you'll probably see it motorsport wise. It's just great fun.
It'll be awesome.
I thought we'd do the Buckmore. I can't say it. Buckmore, take forever.
Buckmore Park.
It's probably the same. It's the distance to get there.
Yeah.
Other side of London.
Yeah.
Is it London?
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell in England it is. I'm just not saying on somewhere. But I've seen clips of like content creators going doing that. It just looks like great fun. It's just it's a good track as well. But it looks fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my brother. I've never raced Buckmore, but Elliot, my brother, he raced Buckmore in the karts years and years ago. Talking 20 years ago.
I've
got a non-motorsport based question for you.
Can I ask my motorsport based question first?
No, because we'll finish on a motorsport question.
Damn it.
Good point. Yeah.
And it's very, very quick. Just to each one of you, Star Trek or Star Wars?
Oh, okay.
Probably Star Wars, but I'm not a massive Star Wars, Star Trek person.
I will be honest and say I've never watched Star Trek, and I recently, as in the last 6 months, just watched all the Star Wars stuff and just got right into Star Wars. Because my friends found
Hell yeah.
I got slated for it, so I did a lot of catching up.
Because I've still got to put that on my Marshal's uniform, Jedi emblem.
I'll be completely honest, I have never watched... I tried to watch one Star Wars film, I never finished it. I've never watched Star Wars or Star Trek, but I need to. Like, I need to just sit down and watch them all.
That's all right, Aaron, it's all right. I wasn't asking you anyway.
We know.
It's on the topic.
I know your answer, and I know Amber's answer.
Yeah.
Sorry, Amber. Motorsport
it's
theme
not like
question.
I've got a tattoo with my answer. Just kind of on this... Just kind of on the subject of endurance racing, obviously assuming that fuel capacity and such or refueling was allowed, would you guys ever do a full Legends endurance race? Obviously assuming that fuel wasn't taken into account.
I don't think I could last more than 20 minutes at Not Kill driving a Legend.
I never said it had to be at Not Kill. I just said a Legends endurance race.
I don't know how long the
What about
engines
like a
would take
24-hour
it.
Legends race at Spa?
Yeah,
I mean, imagine that.
yeah.
What,
I think
20
the engines probably would give up the Ghost more than 20 minutes. But I would love to try one if there was such a thing where we could do endurance racing on the Legends. It would be fantastic to try it.
Yeah.
What engine's actually in one?
then. If you could drive a Legends car on any track in the world, what car are you driving on? What car are you driving on? What track are you driving on?
This is not Forza, Aaron.
That's a good question. Any track in the world?
I'd love to do like Laguna Seca. That would be quite cool.
I'd love to see
Good
Legend in
choice.
that corkscrew.
Down through the little kind of corkscrew.
Yeah.
I think
Monaco would
Probably-
be quite cool.
I'm going to be quite left field and probably say the Gold Coast in Australia. I think bouncing off the curb
Ah.
would
Yes.
That's a good one.
would be
That's
different
an awesome-
gravy to bouncing over the curves. And
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I'm still
anyway,
yet to find someone that says Macau.
I like living.
Yeah, that's the typical answer again.
I know it's a street circuit, but there's a street circuit and then there's Macau.
Yeah.
I mean, I dare say with the Legends having such a short wheelbase and quite narrow and quite small and nimble, they do take well to the short, twisty kind of circuits.
Absolutely.
The shorter the circuit.
I think like having like a Legends race before the F1 in Monaco would be brilliant to watch.
That'd be quite cool.
Just because like, the F1 race would be delayed by 2 hours, but it'd be great to watch. You know,
You could probably get about 6 slides around Monaco in a Legend in one of them.
Yeah.
Probably. Well,
Have you ever looked back in the mirrors at the end of a race and seen the marshals going, right, go. Because we can see an issue, and they're like, right, all right, okay, it's their problem now.
Yeah.
He goes
Get
down
off
to the
my
next
post.
post, it's somebody else's
And
problem.
it's- yeah.
but I think
Not that we
that's-
would ever admit to doing that, but
I think that's pretty good point to end on, is it not? Or any other last questions?
Yeah, we've had these guys for an hour and 20 minutes. I think they've had enough of us now.
yes.
No.
Is it a question
I've
for us?
got a question for you, Michael. If you could
Oh.
race anything anywhere, what would it be?
I seen a video of it recently, and the one series that I would love to try would be Fun Cup during the 24-hour at Spa. They had 100 and plus cars on the grid for there, and they cars just look astronomical. But for proper series, I would love to try an Aussie V8. 100%.
No, absolutely,
As you can tell, I'm a
100%.
bit of an Aussie V8 fan, so
Oh
proper-
yes, with you there, 100%. I think we spoke about this
Yeah.
last meeting, didn't we?
fire that back to you.
Aussie V8 all day long. I'd watch that over anything.
100%.
What about you guys?
For me, it would
I'd
have
be
to be like a Ferrari GT car at Spa, probably.
Good choice. Good choice. And speakers on the spot. I bet you've never been asked questions before.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a race car driver.
In
What?
fact,
I think that's what I'm driving
you-
Aussie.
Do you know something? You might actually meet this guy at the touring cars, a guy called Chris Toretto. He's the one that's making that film Shift.
Yes.
So and we were talking to him about it, and it's one of the cuts at the end of the thing. And Aaron and Amber were asking questions, and he's like, "No, you can't ask me any more questions. I'm not allowed to tell you." Constantly just batting these questions.
Would say this is a very random combination. Not sure how good it would be around it, but MX5 around like an MX5 Cup in Thruxton. So I just love it. I don't know why, but I love an Mazda MX5.
Is that because you go slow enough that you can see the scenery as you're going round Thruxton?
I like Thruxton, like MX5s. Put them together. Why not? Have a fun. You know?
I would agree with that one if you said Daytona. I don't know if you've watched much of the MX5 over at Daytona before.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's like Legends but on steroids, the amount of drafting that goes on in there.
Have you ever been to Daytona, the racetrack?
Not yet.
No.
It's something to behold. See, I was there a few years ago and down in the pits and just looking up at all those seats, which are all different, multicolored when there's nobody sitting in them. So it actually looks like there's still people sitting in them. Really good. Sorry, Amber, you were going to say there.
Give me a hypercar, probably Le Mans or Sebring.
Choice.
You have just thought of a question.
I'd go for Sebring. Sebring seems like a bit of fun to drive.
I don't think my back could handle it.
I mean, I hate to break it to you, Michael, but I'm just a little bit younger than me. They're not younger than you, so I think my back can handle it. Just by
I'm
like a
15,
year
my
or a
back
half.
How do you think I am?
You look about 26 and I'm 25, so
I will take that because I'm actually 31. So I will take that.
you're welcome.
Thank
I will
you.
not tell you
You're
how
just-
old I think
You're
Ben is.
just a puppet.
Anyway,
Sorry, just for the record, right? As talking about ages, I feel the need to say this, right? So, Ben, remind us, what years were your Legends titles in?
2005, 2006. I've got.
I know
Yeah,
what you're angling
2005,
for here, Aaron.
Yeah. Here we go.
I know what Aaron's going to say here.
Right,
5,
yeah.
6,
So,
7,
Ben,
25.
so, Ben, I want you to guess what year do you think I was born in?
You're going to be 2000
Just
and...
guess.
2008.
2010. So you were
Jeez.
5 years before I was born, you were winning Scottish Legends titles.
That's scary, isn't it?
Here's an even bigger coup for you, Aaron. So I'm assuming, Michael, that is a team top with the sponsors and that on it.
It is.
Yes. So how soon
Joel, can
before
you
we
give
see
us
Ben's
some, please?
company? How soon before we see Ben's company on your arm somewhere?
Well, when he starts paying me for taking people out, but he's still not giving me money.
Because that would
Well,
be
you're not-
quite
you're
a
not
big
taking
coup, wouldn't it?
Matthew out yet.
A rival driver on your t-shirt.
That's actually not a bad shout. I should just get my logo plastered over Ben's car.
Exactly, yeah.
He has the space. Serious question now. Recently, well, a couple of meetings ago, we saw the ever so fun thing of bump drafting. Obviously, it's a big thing in Legends. The particular driver was penalised. What is your particular take on bump drafting?
I love it. Michael, you've probably never done it, have you?
The seasons I've raced, it's been banned, but I have been on the receiving end, and I hope that the Clarks aren't watching. I have. And I have given a few times. It's like Ben says, it's one of these things that's infuriating because I'll either be behind Ben or in front of Ben, and we know if we fight with each other trying to get through the field, we're just holding each other up. But you just carry that much more speed, you've got no choice to do it. And if you could just latch on the back of them and just push, it would just make our lives a bit easier.
Because the Nationals, it's still allowed, but
Yeah.
obviously up in Scotland, it's not. Because I obviously...
I mean,
Well,
I've
I've done a
definitely
lot of
seen
bump
some
drafting.
bump drafting in assembly before. Like,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes you'll see like some drivers coming out, mates and nest, me behind each other on the grid. And I'm like, hey, come on, stop. And just like, stop. No, and I just go straight to the ground. So I'm just like, oh,
Steve,
come
it's
on.
these two. It's these two.
It sounds like we've
Hang on,
dropped
Honestly,
into
I
an
don't care
episode
that
of
much.
Top
This is a
Gear.
slow Steve. If you go like Tim Honor, just smash it.
The bumpers are made in metal. That's what they're there for. You know, we bump in the holding area.
Exactly.
Robin
I gave you a
Racing,
good
that's what
thud
they say,
last
isn't it?
meeting.
Yeah, that's like Ben ended up bumping my rear bumper. Ben, thank you. Oh, he didn't mean it, supposedly.
Supposedly.
Yeah, I think it's just a few nasty. Well, Ben will be able to answer that. A few nasty accidents that's happened because of it, so they kind of just ruled it out.
Was not the one at Cadwell years ago. Was that result bump drafting, or was that?
That was the case,
Just a
that was it not? We beat.
What's that?
I think that was the one with Beatty involved, where he went off, and then Beatty was rejoining, and then I think it was a K-Seal car.
That's right.
Look, the one like the massive, like the one that went viral, like the guy flipping head over tail. Mark Beatty was involved in that.
No, he was the car. He was the green car that went off, and then as he was slowly rejoining safely, they had an accident just in front of him.
He was out for a
I
couple of
hadn't
years,
noticed
wasn't he, John?
Yeah,
That was John,
he was,
wasn't it?
it was John, yeah.
Yeah. John Mickle.
But yeah, I think that one was just, I think words can describe that crash. I haven't seen it. And
Don't
That was
look it up.
interesting.
Don't look it up.
yeah,
Right, Aaron, these gentlemen have been on for an hour and a
Yes.
half. They have families and
Yes.
children to go and see.
We'll let you get a life back and go home.
Thank you very much, guys, though. Thank you very,
Thank you.
very,
No,
very
thank you
much
very much.
for
I've
being
enjoyed it.
on.
It's always a
Amber,
pleasure
I
to see
will-
you, Michael.
Yes, never a pleasure to see you, Ben. Amber, I will drop you a message regarding some
Perfect.
stuff as well for the touring car weekend, and we'll try and
Perfect.
round up some of the boys.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so thank you for listening. As you can tell, we've had two legend drivers / I don't know, enemies and mates. I don't know what to put at this point.
Frenemies. Frenemies.
Frenemies, no, that's the point. That's a good one. But yeah, so thank you to Michael and Ben. I think you know the cause, but if you don't, Michael's 77 in Scots Legends. Ben is, I think you're number one, aren't you?
I am indeed, yes.
Yeah, you are number one. And Michael's like, okay. So yeah, Ben number one in the blue car, the sort of bluish car, and then Michael's orange and white.
It's
77.
fine.
So yeah,
Next
keep
year-
them on track.
Next year they'll be
That's great.
switched around, so like
Well, exactly.
Yeah, just swap cars from me. See if something
Yeah.
happens. Don't worry.
Yeah, then Ben can see what it's like driving a car with less horsepower.
On that note, if you listen to one of again, listen to us again, please. Yeah.
you'll find
Bye,
us
guys.
on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Amazon, RSS, anywhere you want to find
On
the
our website as well.
podcast. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. Forgot about the website. We have a website. Imagine.
And you can actually go to the website and listen to the latest episode of the podcast, which will always be in a little box.
Yes. So once again, thank you for listening. Thank you to our guests. It's been lovely to have you. And thank you to you, Aaron. Thank you to you, John. And thank you to you, Amber. You're very welcome. And we will see.
Right, just end it. Just end it.
We will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.
And we'll see these two guys at the touring cars.
You will indeed.
Yes.
Come and say hi.